Welcome to the Explainer. So today, we're diving into something that drives us all crazy, just awful search results. But there's some new research that might finally fix that frustrating gap between what you're looking for and what you actually find. Okay, let's just start with a feeling we've all had, right? You're on a website, maybe you're shopping, maybe you're looking for a template. You type in exactly what you need. You hit that search button, and the results are just useless, completely irrelevant. I mean, how is this still a thing? After all this time, why is search still so bad sometimes? Well, a huge part of the problem is that behind the scenes, the information looks, well, like this. It's not written in nice, neat sentences. It's all structured code, kind of like this JSON file. You can see all these separate fields, right? You've got title, industries, tags. And while this is great for a computer, it's just not how people talk. Exactly, because we don't think in code, do we? We think in, regular human language. We'll ask for something like a professional flyer for a summer sale. We're not just throwing keywords out there. We expect the system to get the meaning, the intent behind what we're saying. And this right here, this is the whole problem. Researchers have a name for it, the semantic gap. And it is the core reason that search can be so tough for computers. They're literally trying to be a translator between two totally different languages, our human thoughts and their structured data. So how do search engines today even try to solve this? Let's take a quick peek at the usual way they do things. Most of the really advanced ones use a two-step process. First, you've got a retriever. Think of it like a giant fishing net that just scoops up a whole bunch of potential matches. Then, a re-ranker comes in and carefully sorts through that catch, putting the best stuff right there at the top for you to see. Now, here's the really clever part. The whole process is called Dense Retrieval. And what it does is it turns both your search query and every single document into a unique numerical fingerprint, a vector if you want to get technical. This fingerprint captures the meaning. So the search engine's job is basically just to play a matching game, finding the document fingerprints that are closest to your query's fingerprint. It's a pretty powerful idea for sure. But there's a huge catch. This whole method, it wasn't really built for that structured data we just saw. So what it often does is just take all those different super useful fields, the title, the tags, everything, and just smushes them together into one big jumble of text. And poof, all that valuable structure is just gone. Okay, but what if there was a better way? A new research paper is proposing a major breakthrough. It's what they call a field adaptive method, and it's built on three really clever ideas that could make search way, way smarter. So the idea is to improve, well, everything. They start by using AI to create smarter data to learn from. Then they make smarter fingerprints by figuring out which data fields are most important. And they wrap it all up with a smarter ranking system that's both super fast and super accurate. All right, first things first, the data. See, to teach an AI what a good search looks like, you need tons and tons of examples. A search query and the perfect result for it. The big problem? Getting that kind of training data is really hard and super expensive. So here's innovation number one, and it's genius. Instead of trying to find the data, they just made it. They took a big language model and gave it this really detailed prompt, kind of like the one on the left here, and they had it automatically cook up all sorts of realistic search queries for every single document, like what you see on the right. And just like that, boom, data problem solved. They created a huge, top-notch training set out of thin air. Okay, innovation number two is all about making those digital fingerprints, the embeddings, way smarter. They're adaptive. This means the system actually pays attention to your query. So if you type in something short and sweet, like summer flyer, it knows, okay, the title field is probably what matters most here. But if you type a whole long sentence, it intelligently shifts its focus and puts more weight on the description field. It adapts on the fly. And last but not least, the third big idea, a hybrid ranking system. And this really is the best of both worlds. It uses a lightning-fast model, a bi-encoder, to do that first big search and get you results instantly. But then, for just the top few results, it switches to a slower but way more precise model, a cross-encoder, to double-check and re-rank them for the absolute best accuracy, speed, and precision. And this is how it all fits together. You can see this really slick 5-step pipeline here. It all starts on the left with that raw, structured data. Then it goes through that awesome AI data generation we just talked about. From there, it heads into model training in the middle. And what comes out the other side is this super smart field adaptive search indexed. It's a really clean end-to-end solution.
Okay, so the whole idea sounds really cool and clever, but does it actually work? Well, let me tell you, the results are, yeah, they're pretty impressive.
Here it is, the big number. Compared to a normal standard model, this new method improved search relevance by a whopping 33.8%. Now, to put that in perspective, in the world of search, engineers will fight tooth and nail for a 1 or 2% improvement. So a jump this big? It's a really big deal. And you can really see what that looks like right here. This chart shows the performance jump. The metric they're using, MRR, basically just measures how close to the top the right answer is. The bar on the left, that's the old way. The bar on the right, that's the new model. I mean, you don't need to be a data scientist to see that's a huge leap. And this table from their study really breaks down why it works so well. Check it out. Just using the description field was already a massive 30% improvement over only using the title. But the absolute best results, you can see it right there on that bottom row, came from combining everything: the title, the description, and the metadata. This is the proof that field adaptive idea is definitely the key. So, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for the future of, finding stuff? Well, what it means is we finally have a clear path to way better search results on pretty much any website that uses this kind of structured data. Think product catalogs, template libraries, you name it. And the best part? It's scalable, so you don't need a ton of custom work to apply it to different things. And it's efficient. It's got that perfect balance of accuracy and speed that you actually need in the real world. Look, this is a really powerful step toward finally closing that semantic gap we talked about, the one between us and our computers. And it just gets you thinking, right? If a clever AI like this can finally fix something as annoying as bad product searches, what other little digital frustrations could be next? That's definitely something to think about. And that's all for this explainer.